Hey guys, my name is Sidiak and welcome back to another episode of SnowTown here in Cities Skylines, where guys, last episode we really did work with the highway expansions and we really set up our infrastructure for many future projects within this series, which I'm really excited about. Today I want to do a little bit of work here, there and everywhere, but I want to mainly focus on building the stadium. We're bringing sports to SnowTown, and even though we've got the free stadium set up within the college or the university areas, I want that localized, centralized soccer/football team that all the Snowtonians, if that's what they're called, are going to get behind and root for their winner. So if you do enjoy this episode and want to see more of SnowTown in the future, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new in here, then make sure you do subscribe so you're notified when the next episode does come out. So in the university areas right now, we do have set up our basketball arena, which they win more than they lose, which is great news for us. The baseball, which they definitely win more than they lose. And we also have the American football stadium, which on the overhaul, the sports in this town are freaking solid. But what we want to get pretty much set up then is the actual stadium, which is over here in Tourism and Leisure. No, it's not. It's here. The actual football stadium. Now, you may be wondering, yo, Cynic, where are you going to drop this beast? Well, this is what we're going to use this peninsula for here. I want to kind of create the football stadium on the edge of the peninsula. I think it'll be a really good kind of view addition to the end of it, like how we done with the university section. We're going to try and build a bridge across it. We're going to try and get the monorail hooked up, and I also want to add in more zoning to our little Manhattan. That's what we should rename it now, right? Our little Manhattan area, which would be quite fun. So let's first then reclaim the land here. Actually, no, before we do that, let's actually zone some more stuffs around this section. So we do have all the water pipes down, which is all good, and we're going to mess about with them at the minute. We got a little bit of residential there, loads of offices and commercial, so let's drop down a load more residential. Let me just pause it for a second. So all the residential there, we do a load of residential. We'll do it there. I won't put it around the entrance and exit area just yet, but I will drop a load just here. There we go. And on this side just there. And that was going to be a little park there. I might turn this inner side into a little park or something. But we'll drop down the residential just here for now. So that's a load of high density residential. We'll drop down... Let's drop down a load of offices just there. And then, of course, fill this up with high density commercial. So that's the zoning we're going to place in for now on that peninsula, and I do want to get this park area set up as well. We have the central park, but I do want to drop in like a city park just so we can really benefit from it all and anarchy a load of paths to it. Should be pretty cool. So let that do what it's got to do right now to get up and running, and we're going to work with setting this up then. So we're going to have to first increase our brush size, get the terrain height, and it's going to be... Actually, I'm going to pause it quickly right now because I just realised we're going to cause another tsunami. So if I just follow the rough edge of where the land should be once reclaimed. There we go. Bring it up to there, boys. Nice. Press play. We'll actually go fast forward mode. There we go. Wait for the water to kind of overflow it. And then reset to sea level. And that should be okay. We shouldn't see any more issues, hopefully. And then we'll just add in a little bit of smoothing in. Oh, can I undo that bit? Yeah. Bring down that brush strength a little bit. Just kind of do it on the edge. There we go. Just ticking along. So it looks a little bit more natural-ish to the waterfront. So there's so many peninsulas in on this side of the river, which I really do find pretty cool right now. These guys are building up. They've got no power, but once the rest of the zoning is all up and running, they should have the power that they need. And we're going to get, I reckon we're going to gain like 10,000 residents from all that zoning as well, which is going to be interesting. But again, this is pretty much the only, or the majority of the high density we're ever going to do in SnowTown. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to have this road here go straight across. It's going to come across here. Straight across there, and it's going to bend down here before then going under that way, cutting through and connecting up to that road there. So it's going to do a nice little bit of a wiggle, and this is all going to be suburbs eventually in the future, all nice and bendy and windy. So a lot of you guys are commenting saying that, you know, I should try and get away from the grids. I've been trying to do that quite heavily recently. We did like, even though it's still quite griddy, we're doing a few little bends and waves there. The whole of the University Island is all over the place right now. We did some cul-de-sacs, but we are going to slowly push away from the grids and start doing all nice suburbs. These are only grids because they're more the downtowny areas. So once we get this connecting over and it bends there, we're going to put the football stadium on the end there. And we're going to try and get the monorail to cross over as well to connect up to this road. So it's going to be exciting in many, many different ways. So it's a standard road here. And we want it to go across. Now, should we do the whole thing? Not tunnel, bridge. If I bring it to there by 40. We're sent to shabby. And then following the line of the road, if I bring it down to, let's go down to 50. And if I then, should I just pick a parallel area to work with? So if I went like that by 60, delete it back by 2. And what's this bend going to look like for us right now? So 33 by 28, and that becomes the bend. Now I've got all this area here to work with, a nice little football stadium, a load of parking. Should be pretty cool. Should be pretty cool. Or should I make the bend come a little bit closer? I think I should make the bend come a little bit closer, to be honest with you. So if I bring this down by another 20. Where is the moment where these borderline connect? 8 by 8. Nice simple connection there. And then that's going to bend at that point and go straight over. Now, what I could do here as well is I could like bring this up by 20 to then, where will it space will it occupy? I could anarchy this in. So I'm only trying to get it in line with this. And if I went to there, I go to there and turn the anarchy off right now to bring this down by another 10 and delete that right back. And then where does this bend happen? So 19 by 19. So it kind of bends up and round, and it's where the monorail is going to cross over this side and connect back up, which is going to be really exciting because it's going to go around the back side of the stadium, which is going to be pretty cool too. And then delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. We'll go quite wide on this bend. So we'll choose 38 for that by 30. There we go. It just tears through the middle, which I really like about it. And we can do a nice little sprawling suburbs. So, with that said, we do need to get set up then our stadium. And then we'll eventually get set up then the monorail that brings everybody over. But I'm thinking as well, if you kind of look at it, alright, how it's going to work the monorail? The monorail ends there, and it does come up to there and goes that way, and goes round to about here. If it crossed over there, we're going to do like a singular monorail bridge. That connects up to there, and if it followed this road around, I could then make it go and follow the highway to connect up to there, so I create a big monorail loop. That could be pretty exciting, because I did kind of mention in the last episode, I can run the monorail tracks like in the middle of the highway, which would look kind of like futuristic. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? But let me focus on the stadium anyway. So how big are we looking at for the stadium? And we want to get it over like on this little section here, and then like a load of parking lots in. So Do we go with this type of road here? Let me just, if I bring this up by 30, how big does it then stick out? So that could actually work pretty well along this area. So if I go up, let's go up by... let's go up by only 5 more instead. I should go up another 5. And that's the full 10. That allows me then to... Oh, do you know what I could do? I could have it come across and then connect to this bit and then go that way down. Just because I could have a stop station there that would be adjacent to all the parking. I don't know. We'll kind of play around with that idea. But in terms of the actual parking itself... Where is it? Here we go. Let's see what we could potentially work with. So if I went for this style road... And I should do it with this actual road first. That, if I come up by 1 more. Right, up by 11. Get out of tunnel mode, boy. What are you doing right now? Get out. How am I in tunnel mode? Get out of here, son. And then, is that... Right, okay. So if I bring this up by 30. So we got a 30 by 30. And then if I do it again... And we'll go up by this time of 20. And that is out by 10, isn't it? Right, it's not really, but we'll make it go out by 10 ourselves. Now, do you reckon a staggered car park will look good? I'm not 100% sure, but there's only one way to find out, and that is to do it ourselves. So then, this road, if I upgrade it, how wide is that going to be? I might have to play around with a few different designs. See, it does work. But I don't think it will work like that, would it? No, let me kind of change it to a singular road. We need them to be a little bit closer in, don't we? So we've got the right idea. I've got the right idea there. I just got to execute it a little bit better. So if I brought this up, rather than going up by the 10 mark, right? Let me upgrade this back to the single lane. Be easy to work with. So rather than going by the 10 mark, which is there, we'll go by the 7. Now, I'll test it first to see how it looked like 2 7s side by side upgraded. See, now we're gonna have to anarchy that in. You know what? That works. Okay, that works. So, oh, hold on. Upgrade it all again. Put it there. So now we know it works. We can run with this idea. So, that's 11. 10's just there. 8 by 7 and down. Or we could do another 7 and down here. And I could... Should we end it there, or should I go for... The 10's there, another 7 and down. I don't know how close that's going to be for this one. But we'll see. And I either have the monorail running that way, connecting over there, or run down here. Now, it'll probably just go that way anyway. I think I'll leave it to that. So, road connections then. Let me upgrade all of this. So we have to anarchy the connection. There we go. And we upgrade the roads there. Bam. To the singular road. Ooh, wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. So that is going to be then the car park, which is beautiful. Then the actual stadium itself, we squeeze in. So if there's two that side, that is then technically almost smack bang in the middle. Now we do have a road connection issue leading up to it, apparently. So we got to do a little bit of magic. Oh, do you know what I could actually do if I just moved it over here? I could just have simply set up right now. And hopefully, can I do it without the anarchy on? I wonder if I can. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with it. Oh, actually, if I come off this side instead? No. I'll have to anarchy it. So 8 by 6 to there and then down. Right. Okay. And just... No, I was wondering if I played around with this, whether something could happen, but not really. What if I upgraded... So if I did that there and then upgraded that back to that, it doesn't really change much. But what if I then upgraded... that might be the better way to do it. It's really difficult to kind of get to where I want to get to it. So we have the issues just here, don't we? Right, I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of squeeze it in. So if I went back now and did it with the Anarchy on, I don't think you're really going to get 100% what you want, but that can still definitely work. It can still definitely work. So I'm just going to throw this now over this side. They're already trying to make their way over right now, which is hilarious. That's now on the very end. Is it too close to the edge? No, I think we're okay. We'll dot a load of trees around it as well. Oh, actually, do you know what? I don't like how that is that close. So let me get back to it then. So we'll come up here by 3. That's better. It's a lot closer now to the action, to where the car parks are going to be. Beautiful. Big area here for car parking. I like it. I do like it. And we'll get set up now the little paths. So this is all Anarchy stuff in right now. And that's all good. We need to get all the car parks set up as well. And dot all the trees around it. We should have like little walking areas too. So if I brought this... If I brought that out to there, and then... Oh man, how did I mess that up? That to there. That to there. And then just do like a little pattern or something. Because when we drop the trees down... Ugh. That went a bit funky. Yeah, when we drop the trees down, we got something nice that kind of is surrounding the area. And if I kind of do it like that, where it looks like it's going in the actual building. As if there was different entrances. That ain't too shabby, is it? Right, we'll stay with that, and once you dot all the trees around, it look pretty nice. The peninsula is quite yellow at the minute because we have the farming around it. So if I just kind of get rid of the farming here and here, so we don't have then yellow snow. It's not good to eat, boys. Don't even go there right now. And we have cars stopping and starting all the time. So we're going to set up some junction restrictions. So that allows them to flow in. They're probably going to stop here as well. So allow them to flow in. I'll do it on all the junctions right now just to save us any issues that do creep up. Parking restrictions, we're going to have to add them to all of here. And all of down there as well. Nice. And I've got to drop all the parking in. So just before we do that then, how is all our zoning going on right now? So all the zoning is now in. We've got a lot of traffic as everybody moves into this brand new area we have set up. And we are going to have to add in more services. So that's doing a good job. I'll still wait for this area to kind of slightly settle down. But it's going pretty well. We've got to give these water. So let me throw some water over here right now. Go there. Go there. And go there. Nice. We'll get the car parks in just a minute. I actually really want to work with the monorail right now. So let me go back to this. So the monorail, how it's going to work is, if I go back to upgrading, is that the only monorail road? I believe so. So it's here. Let me turn the anarchy off. So keeping it continuing going this way. And I think once it gets to about here, I'm going to go back by one. Now we'll do one more. So once it gets to there, we then switch to the actual monorails. And then we come off it ourselves. So if I went like this. Right, it does a weird little bend, but I can anarchy it a lot better. But that's how it's then going to come off and then go across this river. So I think I'm going to make it go across like that. Right, it's a bit funky. But could you imagine the sights, the shortcut route it then takes? Obviously, alternatively, I can make it go up there and then cut down. But the reason I'm making it cut across is, one, it's a nice little feature. And two, we have the subway line going there to there. So if I brought this up to here as well, it makes these 3 stops there borderline redundant. So it is a complete different change, different order. And it should be pretty cool. It should be pretty cool. So with that said, I can actually bring this up a little bit further. Maybe to here. And then let's see what I could create. So anarchy it all on. Right, a little bit earlier on the bend. So it bends and turns off there and then goes across. Then we just simply want the road here to be upgraded on just this one here. We'll do a little bit more just so we've got a little bit more place to work with. I literally make this go straight like that. And where does the bend take place for it? So then that will pass through as well. It's interesting. It's definitely an interesting take on this. And I feel like we need to reclaim like a tad bit more land around this area. So if I kind of just pause slightly, bring that brush size down. Just kind of create like a mini peninsula as it goes across. As if like we did some reclamation for like the structure to get across right now, which hopefully it doesn't have much flooding. But while it does try and flood, I'm just going to get rid of the yellow snow. Dot it around. We'll quickly reset the sea level so that doesn't cause any flooding. And that pushes us across quite nicely. Now I wonder if I can make the bend a bit more prominent. So if I delete this to there, if I upgrade back to a normal road to there, and I wonder what I can get done here. So that's a bit better, isn't it? It kind of merges off it quite nicely and goes straight across. Now, it's definitely not high enough yet for boats to pass through, but I don't know if I'll ever have boats coming down here. But we have like a nice little connection that kind of... It's just pretty much a nice little feature to the end of this peninsula. I like it. I like it. Once we get more stuff built around it, it will fit in quite well. So, we need power. It means that I can have a monorail stop just there. And then people can get off and walk down to the stadium. I could do quicker short path routes. So I could come off here. And I could potentially also incorporate a path going up and under the monorail stop there, which is actually quite cool. And just come off there. I just want to bend this a bit more now because it's kind of a little bit weird. If I move that way slightly. See, it all integrates quite nice, doesn't it? It really does. So let me dot a couple of trees down. Let me first start with the big conifers just here. Just on that little section of road there. Then we're going to really up our brush size, up the strength as well. Now I'm going to dot it where the monorail is going to be, but I'll move them after. Let's go for a few different sizes of it. And I'll only decorate this for now. Just this area. We'll kind of push it down a bit more. Different conifer sizes. But I really want to bulk that up. Make it quite thick. And there is a little area here that I can push some more down. I wonder if I can put them right against it. Yeah, I can. Just felt like it was slightly missing. It's a shame we can't squeeze any in there, but I don't really want to. And let me just now create a little bit more of a brush size. And then we clear our path for our monorail. So clear the path for the monorail coming through. As that passes through just there. But definitely get some more trees on the edge. Bring that down. The trigger finger gets a little bit too crazy at times, doesn't it? It's like we've forged a path through with the tree line. Right, that's all good. We'll take that. We'll take that right now. So we do need a little bit of power, and we'll hook this up from directly over this side. Boom. That's now connected. Glorious. You can't really tell that much. And we just need to get the parking set up. So I'll get the parking set up now then. So that's then pretty much all done. So back to the roads. Parking. And it's going to be the big boy parking style that we've got to place down. So I'm going to go right in. Yeah. So there. Where did you go up to here? Let me get it right against to there. There we go. There. There. Squeeze one in here too. So there's definitely going to be a lot of parking around here, isn't there? Now I wonder if I can select each one of them. Yes, mate. Duplicate it over here. Duplicate it just there. Okay, just there, but actually I'll leave all that bit in. That's all good. It's all good. And then what can I get from this side then? So I'm going to drop one there. So I've got to do the EV parking and the disabled parking as well. So I'm going to cross over paths right now and try and squeeze as much of it in as possible. There. There. And there, just to take advantage of all the parking as much as possible. EV parking. I'm going to squeeze in as much as I can before I flip it round. All on this side. Yeah, we'll just go for there. Let me turn it round as well now. I'm going to put the disabled parking in a little bit closer. I've learnt my lesson from past car parks. Where 9 times out of 10, when I build stuff like this, I always put the disabled parking the furthest away, which they're going to walk the furthest distance, which I find hilarious. And so many people say, yo, Celiac, you're such a folio. I'm like, you just realised now? And, okay, we'll get disabled parking then on the very end of these bays. So, one there. One there. Can I delete that one I just dropped down? Or at least move it a little bit closer? No, I can't even get to it right now, so I'm just going to have to suck it up. So they're all now here. I won't do any there, just literally there. That's the closest point right now. So on actual football games, because we've now done all the parking restrictions around this area, they'll now be forced to use the parking here now. It might seem a little bit excessive that we've got so much of it, but I might turn this into a little tourist hotspot around. So we'll have definitely a lot more utilization of this. That was a brilliant word you just used there, Sonic. And we'll delete this little section right now. We'll drop down the monorail station. All the road goes through the middle. There we go. So connect this bad boy up. So it needs water. Let's push it down just down to here. And then it's going to need power. There we go. Now, shall we complete the full loop of the monorail? We're going to, and for this whole section here, we're going to have no stops until we add more to it. But I can definitely finalize the last few stops here. And then at the minute we have 2 lines. One to there, one to there. We should then turn it into one big loop. Okay. So it won't take much away from it, because obviously it's going to be one big loop. But it'll be quicker if you wanted to get from a certain area there to like over here. Maybe hop on the subway line or the tram line. Still need to extend the tram line around here as well to make it more accessible. But that should be pretty fun. So let's upgrade the road first, though. There we go. Do the under bit there. So monorails are becoming like a huge integral part now of SnowTown, which I'm really enjoying and liking about it. So from this point then, let me go back into this. Bam, bam, bam. That is then going down in this direction, so the bend happens there. So do you reckon we should elevate it? Now, from this height, let me try and get it like side by side. So by plus 10, it's actually quite high. Okay, sweet. Do that again. And I want to put it to the very end just here. So the monorail is going to be above the whole highway, which is going to be so cool. And no. That then will bend here to connect up, but obviously that height change is too much. I'm hoping I'm selecting the right stuff right now. Can I slope that? No. I knew it was technically the wrong thing I was selecting. Right, with that, no, I don't bring it down. There we go. So it's the smaller ring out of the two. And then try and do it to this one. Alright, just by manually doing it is a little bit easier. Now, granted, it does merge through this. And I'll have to eventually fix that at some point. I won't do it now though, but if I do forget, guys, please remind me. I often do forget to fix certain things at times. Right, pause. Bring that to there. Should bring this to there. Wait, why is that low? Excuse me. That's better. So that now is technically connected all the way around in one big loop. So before we do the loop though, before we do get it set up to where it's functional, that makes this peninsula, the Manhattan Peninsula, all this area over here, and eventually this section there, all connected via the monorail. That's pretty cool, creating one big sweaty loop. I don't know where I got the word sweaty from there. So we're going to have and finalize a stop just here. We'll add in a stop just there. And there's a stop there, so we'll add in a stop just here. So it might cause a few little issues here and there right now, but nothing that we can't solve. Oh, I'm trying to get that centralized. Boom. Boom, there we go. That road, get it connected. And hopefully we have no issues. Back into play mode. Nice. Alright, we did have a few issues. This kind of unzoned itself, but we can zone it back in. No issues. Same with this. There we go. Okay, good stuff. So let me go view my transportation links. More importantly, the monorail. And we have... Right, let me zoom right in so I can see the little tri-bend here. Alright, that one there, monorail line 2, gets deleted. Monorail line 1 gets deleted. Okay. So you can now see we only have this one that comes from up here to there. Which we're now going to have to extend it, the monorail line. Right, and we'll get it to extend and stop here. That's its stopping section. Now we need to make sure that it has a stop on either side of that station. So that works up to that point. And then we'll then create two loops, well, two lines on either side of the tracks now going around. Now these two right now are going to be a work in progress because they are also going to have additional lines going along. So for now it just does the full loop and we'll add more stations as time goes on. But that's to there, and the final stop is just there. Then the opposite side of the track, I bring it then this way. So we have monorails coming in both directions, and because of the sheer length of this line, I might have to up the amount of trains, monorail cars, whatever they're freaking called right now, on these lines. So drop you there, drop you there, drop you there, and complete the line. So the crossover point for these two loops and that line there is this station at the moment, which is pretty good. It's in the thick of it. It is in the thick of it right now. So, you know, that's pretty cool to see. And I wonder how many lines. So 4 and 5 are our new ones, and they both have 11 vehicles. I'm going to up that to 4. Let's go 15 on each, and we'll see as time goes on if that was a good move or a bad move. Because I might need a lot more than that. I might have one too many. But I feel like we might need more. The way it's going to rock and roll this. I feel like we'll potentially need a lot more. So that's our nice little monorail loop now linked around. Which, again, gives us a future connection for that. In terms of then the actual subway lines. Of course, we have the one that goes straight across that way. One that comes straight down, which will continue to go straight down and be a crossover route for the monorail line there. We have one that goes and bends around there. And we have one that goes down here. So. We could have then this line that goes from there, comes down here, bends through the middle. That will then eventually cut across here and then maybe come round. Or it could be a dead end to simply whatever's in this area over here. This one that comes across, it has to either cross over at one of these at some point to merge into that line. So all the lines are intertwined and connected. This line here could go directly down to the oil industry. So you can connect to there, and its next stop could be here. Next stop could be there. And if I do anything over in these islands, it can lead that way. And then this stop going across over right now serves the main section of this. So the subway stops have their planned routes, which is pretty good. Until we add more stuff over here, this line is obviously going to go up and continue to go in that direction. So that will be the main line that cuts through the whole of SnowTown. So we have our plans set up anyway for this. I want to see the monorails going across here. Damn, boy. They fast. And also the monorails by the highway. So this is definitely high. I don't know whether it's too high or not. And there is some weird bumps. I've got to level all of this area. So don't worry too much about that. I'll spend an episode or whatnot focusing on all the cool little stuff and whatnot. Right, we have a fire going off right now. Is the fire coverage not too good? Oh, it's abysmal. It really is. So let's get some fire departments down then. We'll go for this Detroit Fire HQ. Which I'll turn the anarchy off and start squeezing this stuff in. So one down by the peninsula, which actually should set up all of the services. We'll get the enforcer tower. We've got one over there. But I'll set up a secondary one. Right there. We'll set up a nice big... let's go for this one. The Life Center Hospital. Which I'll squeeze in just there. So I know I've got this stuff around. But this peninsula is going to be very, very heavily populated. So I might as well take advantage of it. Oh, and death care too. We have a better crematorium. Which I'll throw this. Just there. Kind of slightly out the way. But more importantly, the fire brigade stuff anyway. We'll go for like the huge fire station over on... Actually, we'll go for the Detroit one as well. And we'll put this on the corner just there. So it gives good coverage for everything around. We have a small one over here. But I think what we'll do is we'll get the Firehouse 13 to be squeezed in around here. Now, ooh, actually, do you reckon I could squeeze the small one underneath the highway here for anarchy in? See, that could be a good use of that dead space. Putting the fire station just there, which then serves this area slightly, which is pretty good. Policing, we're kind of okay for the most part. There we go. Yeah, the policing is pretty good. Fire over this side, we kind of got a decent enough coverage, so we'll leave it to that. And that should help us pretty well. Okay. It might cause a few upgrades as well, me placing those services, dotting them around. How is all of this then? So when do we potentially have our next game? Well, the first match got cancelled, and it got cancelled on the other ones as well before, so it's not really a surprise. We have 10 people using that right now. Oh, should we turn off the parking along this road still? And then try and force them to park in our car park over here. There's a couple of vehicles parked in, but not that many. So many people using this then? 140 using this monorail stop. Oh, what happened here? Get that in. How many people are using this one? 52. And this one, 124. Now, that one is 333. That's a weird number, but that's our crossover stop. 1,200. Well, that's pretty cool. And we still have a lot of vehicles heading down here too. Now, let me sort out this lane management real quick. Because I'm surprised I didn't get this area sorted. So that turns into that lane. Well, that allows us to go straight over or turn that way. Just so they know which lane that they need to be in. So that keeps somewhat of a flow. And again, because we've got so much new buildings in here, it's people still moving in. They really are still moving in. But you're also going to get as well the people trying to cut across to get over to here. Which is why we're going to need to use this section here to create an intersection where it's a turn off. So this is easy accessible. So if you're on the highway, you can get off to this little peninsula so much more easier. And we also need other crossover roads as well. But that won't take effect anyway until we start to work on this area. But we got to pay attention and watch out what happens on this junction. Because it's like, apart from the highway, it's a solid crossover road. Not saying that we need another one. We just recently did our underground tunnel. And we won't be doing another one at some point soon. But, you know, ferry lines are not that far away from us completing. So we got to watch out for those at some point. This peninsula is now looking pretty well. So do you reckon we can push it to the next stage and add in some more stuff? I think potentially we could. So I'm going to squeeze in some residential here, all on this little section there. And we'll drop in residential all on this side too. All on this little area. Which I was going to reserve it for other stuff, but it just makes sense to throw it all down here. There's a subway stop. There's a monorail stop nearby. So public transport is really, really good for these guys. We'll get some offices thrown up on this side. And let me get rid of these power lines right now. There we go for the industry side of things. So I'm trying to do a nice little mixture where this whole area is not like legit overpopulated. And I think we need to dot in some of the unique buildings to kind of fill up this area too. So let's start with number 2 here. Now I'm looking for, like, you know, the skyscraper style buildings. It's more on this side, isn't it? Yeah, we got like the servicing buildings, which that's actually quite big. That's quite big. The sea and skyscraper tower, whatever you want to call it. The Colossal Order buildings is quite big as well. The Grand Mall. So that's the kind of stuff then we do need to squeeze in to kind of bulk it all up. The courthouse. So let's go for some of the smaller skyscraper buildings anyway. Like this here, the high interest tower. Could be squeezed in along here. Like that would be really good to fill up this little section just there. So it might look a little bit too big and out of place right now. But once this whole peninsula is fully upgraded and we've got the taller buildings thrown in, then that is wonderful. Now, all that new zoning we're throwing in, they're really utilising our tunnel system right now, which is pretty cool to see. But again, you gotta give it time for the initial traffic to move in before it dies down. Now, what other towers or tall buildings can I throw in here? We have the servicing services building. That's quite a mouthful to say, isn't it? If I get that right on the corner, that's pretty nice. A load of unique tall buildings, so going for that New York vibe right now. We have the CN skyscraper, which is a impressive office building, which we just dropped in a load of offices around here. So maybe I utilize that area to drop that building in here. So I can actually drop it in here. And that's where the office building is going to be, along this little front there. So again, a nice little addition. And let's go for one more. Let's go for one more style of that building. I don't know whether it's going to be... I don't have many to choose from now at this point. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, it's the clustered order ones, isn't it? Yeah, I feel like this is like over this side of the map building. See, that could be straight in there on this side. And there we go. So, does add to the little skyline of this peninsula. And once all these buildings around are fully upgraded, which these buildings themselves will give some upgrades to this area, these buildings get really big too, and it will all work wonders. Now, there's a few cars now on their way, so it looks like the 2nd of the 10th, 56. We due a game very soon. So we should start to see now a load of cars arriving, which would be pretty nice. I'm going to have to get this set up another episode, because I might have to like try and squeeze in a car park as well, because there's a lot of vehicles parking on the streets. So we have to do something about that. But yeah, this peninsula is slowly coming together, the downtown area. I'm liking it. So we got up to now 56,000 residents within SnowTown. So in the last few episodes, we really started to creep up and bulk up the numbers of it, which is pretty good. We haven't done any dirty industry in quite some time. So I think that's where like this peninsula now, when it goes all suburby, will then start to merge in with some dirty industry. Got to set the farm in all up on this side. How's the forestry doing? We've got to add more stuff. We've got to grow our industries a bit more too, because I've noticed now we're dipping into the red a little bit often. So we've got to work with increasing all of that. Now, should we change this road management here, where that is that turn only, and that is to go straight on, just so we can divide the traffic a little bit, divide and conquer. So it can be funneled out a bit quicker, because you're going in a certain direction at that point, aren't you? It's no issues, it's just, you know, something that we kind of do want to set up. Which is pretty good. I'm liking it. So we're not really seeing much traffic issues anyway. We still got 84%, you know, still within the mid-80s traffic flow, which is pretty cool. But that is always going to be an issue. Every so often we do get the stopping and starting. But it's mainly people either coming off this highway to drive down, or just coming from this area to drive down as well. So you're going to get it anyway, because we are a peninsula little section. So it's just inevitable. It really is just inevitable, as it brings more people from over this side. But it's coming together. Slowly but surely, this beautiful place is coming together. Right. More cars are now making their arrival to the car park here, as the game is going to start very, very soon. Right. I always forget what this stuff is, but I'm going to select it all anyway. Oh, isn't one of them like free public transport? Come on, make it easy for fans to get to the stadium. Public transport free on match day. No, I don't want that. Match security. Okay. Subsidized youth. Yeah, we'll go with that just to make the stadium a little bit more interesting. It's called SnowTown FC right now. Right, what is the public transport like these days anyway? So nearly 1,400 are using that. So more people are using trams still at this point than anything, but the monorail is almost in second place. Subways and monorails are like joint even right now, which is pretty cool to see as well, considering that we only got really now like one big monorail loop and the other one's set up like that. These still have people coming off as they get over there. So it's going really well then, guys. I'm really impressed with what we've got set up today, which we're going to end today's episode. So we've done some huge expansions with the public transport network. Again, we got this other now peninsula connected and ready to pretty much go. Our Manhattan Peninsula as well, the little section here, is definitely slowly coming together, which I'm really, really excited to see how it then progresses. Stuff like this we kind of have to sort out as well, where we can make it that turns into that lane, that turns into that lane, that goes there to there, that goes there to there. Again, not saying we're going to have issues coming from it, but we just kind of set it up into, you know, a certain way where people know where they're pretty much wanting to go. And then traffic can decide where it needs to head in that point. But as time goes on, we probably will see more traffic issues within this area. It's only going to, happen anyway because of the built-up area that it is. And if we do need to build more stuff, we'll set it up. But we could also reduce traffic by simply having a better public transport system. And I think ferries are... It's getting close where we're going to have to start building ferries. The more we build to the edges of this riverbed, the more we could then potentially utilize ferry crossings. Like, you have a decent ferry crossing going to the University Island. We could utilize this little river as they have a little stop there, and then go back up to there, and stop there and there. But then if we start to build down this peninsula, it's also like having a stop there, to go to there, to go around, river connections and stuff like that. I mean, would we build a canal system? I don't know. I don't think so. But a canal system would be good in other areas, but we'll see what happens. Guys, we're going to end it for here. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.